Hi, everyone. I'm Joy Rosa with Earthworks Acupuncture. And one way that I tend to celebrate periods of growth and hope and struggle and surrender, motivation and anger and even grief is with music. So our special guest today is Tamilyn Banno of 0 Point Acupuncture in Peoria, Illinois. Welcome, Tamilyn. Thanks for showing up. Can you introduce yourself a little bit and like the story behind the name of your practice and where you're from, where you're located?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Tamilyn Banno, and I am owner of 0 Point Acupuncture. I'm practicing out of Peoria, Illinois, which is on Peoria, Kickapoo, and Miami land. And yeah, I do acupuncture, shiatsu, and sound healing mostly. And 0 Point gets its name. It's a physics term that relates to. It pretty much describes like that unified field that of consciousness of where everything originates from. So really that like primordial soup.
That's awesome. So how long have you been involved in healing arts and music as a healing art?
Music. I would say I've been using music to heal as long as I can remember, just from listening to music, making playlists, going to live shows. That's been a big part of my life. But I started going to school for East Asian medicine in 2014. I graduated in 2018, but I would say, and then somewhere in between there, actually pretty early on in 2014, I got acquainted with crystal bowls
Cool.
and started going to sound baths as a way of healing. Um, and I've been playing these bowls then I think for almost 2 years.
That's awesome. Why do you see sound healing as an important avenue to like attune or reattune to life, to balance?
I think because it's both so gentle but powerful at the same time.
Mhm.
It's profound on the shifts it can have like on your mental state in a very gentle way. The solfeggio frequencies or different frequencies, different bowls, like so many different avenues. It's just an endless source, I think, of creation. And
Frequencies or hertz, like what do these things mean in terms of sound healing and why do they matter?
sure. So I work with notes primarily, but there are notes that lend themselves to different chakras and to different endocrine glands.
Mm.
So that's primarily the system that I use, unless I'm doing a binaural pattern, in which case I want the frequencies. So binaural patterns are you have one bowl, let's say at like 300,
Uh-huh.
and another bowl at 307
Mhm.
hertz. And then you play them at the same time. There's a difference in frequencies, and it makes up for that difference by 7 hertz. So you're within that theta range, which is um, like heightened awareness, altered states of consciousness, really deep meditation, and that would be theta. So sometimes I work with frequencies like that.
That's dope. I love binaural beats. I fall asleep to a 528 hertz binaural beat
They're amazing.
at night. And it really does. It's actually called Patience. I'll link it. There's an artist named Amalay on Bandcamp. And I have been following them for quite some time, and some of their binaural tones are amazing. But I think that tone and tonality is like a really quick way, right? Like if you were to like put a tuning fork next to a cup of water or something, you would see the ripples in the
Mhm.
water. And I just, when I go into these meditations with binaural tones, that's what I see in my head. I'm like, ooh, all my cells are like rippling.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, and you can like vary. I had an experience with like chanting too. Like the human voice is actually like the most powerful instrument you have. And I went to not a yoga class or not yoga. I've heard it both ways. And we did a chant for 108 times. And after, my whole body was vibrating like on a cellular level.
Tell us a little bit about what being even a practitioner of sound is like for you. Like there's a giving and there's a receiving end of this. And also kind of walk us through what to expect in a sound healing treatment?
And it's very meditative for me, but it's very different giving a bath and receiving a bath. Like
Mhm.
seeing things, you'll definitely like become aware of different parts of your body. The different where like the bowls are having an effect on. You might be able to feel it in there. Some people feel their temperature change. Some people drift off out, in the multiverse and feel very, very grounded on the floor. If people have pain in a particular area, like I've worked with people with plantar fasciitis or TMJ disorder, and they can they start to feel that area.
I like that we're starting to discuss the ways that sound has an effect on not only your physical 3D body, but how many auric bodies does it affect? Do you know, like, or like why choose the bowl set? Can you talk to us a little bit about the bowl set that you have?
Yeah. The bowl set that I have, I think sound is so primal. It's like arguably the first thing to come out of creation. Like the void is like that, that that like sound.
The
So I
0 point.
yes, the 0 point. So I don't think there's an area that it can't touch, which is another reason why I love it.
And can you talk a little bit about the bodies? Like when people are like just hearing this for the first time, they're going, bodies? Like what?
All the bodies you have. So layers within, so you have, like your physical body, and then you have like the mental plane, the astral plane, the Buddhic plane, like all, and they're different energy fields that like extend outwards and encompasses like, like your auric field, but also your connection to your higher self. If we want to get like super weird, it also connects you like, you're like, yeah, I do, deep down into like that iron core of the earth, and then also to like the galactic sun, like that center, not our sun,
Right.
the
Source sun.
source sun.
Big
Yes. So,
sun.
yes, we are like connected through a tube to that, and our different bodies are all connected like within our body, but it basically goes from like very dense to like more subtle as it.
Yes, I think that's so important too, because you're also an acupuncturist. And when you're working with, right, there are layers of diagnosis. There's body, mind, and spirit. And those also have different frequencies. That's what we're talking about, right? So, like an auric field is much larger and less dense. So that means that it's vibrating at a higher frequency than, say, your physical body, which is on a 3D plane, and we can manifest and experience things from a higher plane and it somatically come out into the 3D plane. So I love sound healing because, like you were saying, you can reach all of these different levels and really be attuned or reattuned at a cellular level. I think that's so awesome.
And one thing that I also want to add is that, in order to elevate your frequency or like reattune, like we speak a lot about resonance, and like my little like tagline is like creating coherence, but
Yes.
there also needs to be dissonance in order for you to like level up basically. So
Oh,
that kind of like mirrors what's going on right now, like right now the earth and probably like the cosmos, we're in a state of dissonance right now.
right,
You need that state in order to create coherence with the next level up.
right.
It's kind of like before you awaken. I think like Einstein or something says like you can't solve a problem with the same level of consciousness like that you started from. You like need to
Yeah.
expand perspective upwards. And that's not going to happen unless there's dissonance, right? Like this tower moment we were talking about that it's going through. And then, we're in a state of dissonance, and then out of that disorder comes order. So
Mm,
you create coherence, and then, but there's always like, you're always trying to create coherence with like the next biggest group. So like we are trying to maintain coherence with the earth. The earth is trying to maintain coherence with our solar system, and the solar system, with the galaxy, and like, and so on and so forth. And you always just want to like be creating coherence with like these bigger bodies until like you're with source.
yeah.
And
Oh, I love that. And
to create resonance and coherence.
That's beautiful. And I wanted to just read, I just Googled it. I used to have this in my locker in high school. It was a picture of Einstein, and it's a quotation from him. It says, "A human being is a part of the whole called by us universe. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness. This delusion is a kind of prison for us, restricting us to our personal desires and to affection for a few persons nearest to us. Our task must be to free ourselves from this prison by widening our circle of compassion, to embrace all living creatures and the whole of nature in its beauty." So I think that's definitely something that's being tapped into when
Absolutely,
you're
yes.
performing sound healing. So um, a few more questions before we get into your demo. Like, what are your hopes and how sound healing can be of benefit to your community or communities at large?
Yes, I'm just hoping that it'll give people whatever they need. That's the beauty of the bowls. They will give you what you need because they're reacting with your cells and this frequency and shifting things like that. But really also if I can just give people like 10 minutes of peace. There's a lot that's going on that's like very real right now. And we're kind of, I think, in that although we're at home, we're in this like fight or flight mode. So
Mm-hmm.
if I can just get that to turn off for people for 5-10 minutes and put them back in their body and kind of reclaim a little bit of themselves, all that I'm hoping for, really.
Beautiful. Tamlyn, how are you caring for yourself during this time? And is that different from caring for others when your normal business practice was up and running?
Well, it's very different. I would say like I cared for others a lot through acupuncture
Yeah.
and sound baths. I'm not doing that in person. I'm trying to do more virtual work with the sound baths right now. But how I'm, I guess, caring for myself, it's different every day. I think, and it's a constant reminder too. Like the biggest things that help ground me and center me are movement, through various movement practices and through creating, whether that be sound or just trying to create. But then I also have to tell myself right now, like, it's okay not to create, not to produce, not to like do things right now. Like, it's okay to just,
Be.
yes, yeah. And that's like a very challenging balance.
Yeah.
But yeah, lots of baths, yoga, um, music.
Great. So if you're at home with children or partners or by yourself, or maybe you're out in the park right now enjoying some sunshine, and you need to move through emotions or have energetic upgrades or healing, take a relaxed position with mat, pillow, cushion, whatever you need for support. And we'll be collectively enjoying a sound bath brought to you by 0 Point Acupuncture. And in the spirit of mutual aid and solidarity, please consider making a love offering to 0 Point. I'll link your linkables once we upload this onto YouTube. So Tamlyn, take it away.
Yeah. If you have headphones, that's going to be the best way to experience this. But if you don't, no worries.
Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tamlyn, for just working in collaboration with us today and for the sound bath. Again, if you're in Peoria, Illinois, check out 0 Point Acupuncture, especially on Instagram, and I'll link all your linkables. And again, thank you so much, Tamlyn.
Yeah, and stay tuned. I'll probably post like 10-minute ones on my page, and then I'll be offering like an hour-long one for purchase later. So if you enjoyed this, yeah, stay tuned for more.
Awesome. See ya. Peace.